All right, friends, welcome back. I know it's been a while. I decided to take the week off because I'm preparing our next big thing, which is going to be the podcast I'm going to be starting soon. Also, I've been doing research for my next big biography. It looks like the Marshals and Napoleon lost the poll, so I will be moving on to other subjects. That will be for Monday, though. Today, we're going to be doing, as always, our Sabaton review. And today, we will be doing one of the, if not most famous songs, the Winged Hussars. We're going to be reviewing the Sabaton song Winged Hussars. Now, a quick little background. The Winged Hussars were a military unit in, I guess you could say, Enlightenment Poland-Lithuania. This is back when Poland and Lithuania were one country. At the time, Poland and Lithuania were being ruled by a man named Jan III Sobieski. Back then, it was weird because the kings were elected. They weren't actually, chosen. But the song's not only about the Winged Hussars. The song is actually about the siege of Vienna in 1683. This was when the Ottoman Empire's Grand Vizier decided to invade the Catholic Europe. Again, at this time, this is Enlightenment period, so this is 1683. You have German Reformation going on, English Reformation has already happened. There's a lot going on in Europe. But a Holy League came together to defend Vienna, because Vienna was the capital of Austria, and Austria was the leading power in the Holy Roman Empire, which was a Catholic empire, though it did have Protestant principalities in its control, but it was technically a Catholic empire. So a League of Nations that would become later known as the Holy League, Catholic nations such as France, Poland, the Italian states, and the Holy Roman Empire with Austria in the lead, formed when the Ottomans invaded. I actually did a video on the siege of Vienna. I'm going to put the link at the end, as always. So this is actually probably one of Sabaton's second most famous songs. I'll always say The Last Stand is one of their most famous, but when the Winged Hussars are up, well, it's not when the Winged Hussars, the Winged Hussars is definitely up there. It's probably one of their best songs, and it's a meme in the history community. So, we're going to get into this just real quick before I get into that. I know a lot of you are leaving me comments and things. Like I always tell you, I do work a full-time job. I try my best. I've been picking up on weekends lately just because of the state of prices going up across the country. If I don't get back to you sooner, I'm sorry. I really am. Let's get into it.
When the Winged Hussars arrive. Soldiers left to die. Will they hold the wall, or will the city fall? Dedication, that outnumbered 50 to 1.
So real quick before the chorus comes. So interesting thing, we see clips of the Holy Roman Emperor at the time. He actually fled Vienna. He heard of the invasion, and he withdrew from the capital, leaving only a very small garrison to defend the capital. That's actually how the Holy League got alerted, because I believe it was Leopold the Second of Austria. He fled the capital because he was afraid of what was going to happen, and he left the city in command of one of his generals, who pretty much had to, for 60 days, hold off against this giant Ottoman force. The Winged Hussars were not the only ones who arrived to support them. There was just that clip you saw of all the members of the Holy League praying. The Winged Hussars just led the initial charge. And, some of you are probably thinking this sounds familiar. City besieged, giant cavalry charge. Tolkien, the writer of Lord of the Rings, actually based the charge of the Rohirrim in Return of the King on the charge of the Winged Hussars and the Holy League at the Siege of Vienna in 1683. So that's a little fun fact, but let's get back into it.
And the battle's begun, and the winged hussars arrive. Coming down the mountainside. And the winged hussars arrive. Coming down, they turn the tide. As the days are passing by, and as the dead are piling high, no escape and no salvation. Trenches to explosive halls are buried deep beneath the walls. Plant the charges there and watch the sleep.
So that's something we see even today. That's what's called sappers. Pretty much what it is you have a tunnel pretty much built a few yards away from the walls. You send men under. They start digging and they start placing they place gunpowder and explosives under the walls, and then they detonate it and it collapses the wall from below. There's actually stories of while this was happening, the Austrians were sending their own sappers under, and they were getting into hand-to-hand combat. But there was one incident where they were so afraid, both sides, you had the Ottomans over here and the Austrians over here, and they were actually afraid because if anyone made a foul move, it was going to blow up and kill literally everyone. So both sides literally just creeped away from each other and collapsed the mines on their separate sides because they were that afraid. They did successfully blow up the wall, and clearly the Viennese had to hold. Luckily for them, the Holy League and the Winged Hussars did arrive.
Desperation, it's a desperate race against the mind, and a race against time, and the winged hussars arrive. Coming down the mountainside, and the winged hussars arrive. Coming down, they turn the tide. Cannonballs are coming down from the sky. Janissaries, are you ready to die? We will seek our vengeance eye for a night. You'll be stopped upon the steps of our gate. On this field you're always facing your hate. And the coldness of them sealing your fate.
So this is Kara Mustafa. He was the Grand Vizier who led the assault on Vienna and the invasion of Catholic Europe. So Christian Europe. I don't want to offend anyone. But he ended up getting executed by being choked with a rope of silk. And that's what we're seeing here. But another cool thing, they say Janissaries, are you ready to die? The Janissary Corps was kind of, the best way to describe them is it was the Ottoman Empire's immortals. They were the elite of the Ottoman Empire, and they were actually getting prepared to make the grand assault when the Holy League finally did arrive. And they had to do a complete about face because the camp was you had all the infantry facing off in the front, and Mustafa had to reform his lines because they had an open camp to the rear, and the Polish and French and Italian artillery was coming down on them. Another interesting fact is Jan Sobieski actually led the charge himself. He, in the clip, if you see the one Winged Hussar in the gold armor, that's actually John, it's the same thing, but that's Jan Sobieski leading the charge. course, I used our good old friend A.S. Cotter. Some of my favorite content is done by him with Sabaton. But yeah, so interesting fact is Jan Sobieski, the Holy League actually would make its own peace with the Ottomans, but Jan Sobieski didn't make the same peace with them. He actually moved into the Ottoman Empire and defeated them in the Ottoman Empire. And he made a separate peace with the Ottomans because he just kept going. This would be the last, I would say, hopes of Ottomans invading in the hope of conquering all of Europe. In my video on the siege of Vienna, I make the point to say, had the siege succeeded and the Ottomans got a foothold into Europe, we'd be looking at a very different world today. You would be looking at a world where the Ottomans probably would get as far as France, possibly, maybe even Spain. The Ottoman Empire saw themselves as the actual successors to Rome, being, in theory, they controlled more of the Roman previous territory than, like, the Holy Roman Empire or even the Papal States, even though the Papal States had pretty good authority over the kingdoms as the head of the church. But this was the last big attempt from an Ottoman power to conquer Europe in the name of Islam. All right, friends, thank you again for joining us. I hope you enjoyed that. This is one of my favorite songs, to be completely honest, so I'm really happy we got to listen to it. I was actually listening to it the other day, and I said, you're not a real Sabaton fan if this isn't in your top 5. But the Siege of Vienna is definitely something I find fascinating. That's why I've done multiple videos on it. And again, I'll leave the links for you to view. Another thing is, thank you all for bearing with me. I know me disappearing for the week was weird. Like I said, I do work a full-time job. I've been going back to the gym and everything, so I've been kind of at night. Whereas usual, I would be here doing this. I've been trying to make myself healthier and be living a healthier lifestyle. Dieting, which I bet a lot of us agree is not fun. But thank you so much for sticking with me. I hope you guys enjoy. Our numbers have gone up since my little disappearance. But thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share, and comment. If you're returning to the channel or a new viewer, please subscribe. This community is ever growing. We're getting more people joining, and it's just, I'm very humbled by all of your support. Thank you again so much, friends, and we will see you in the next one.